Hey guys, welcome to this session by IntelliPath. So Django is being hailed as the best Python web framework, and it is also great for creating database driven web applications. So top companies such as Instagram, YouTube and Spotify are using Django to maintain their websites. And in this session, we're going to learn about the Django framework. So before we start off with the session, do subscribe to our channel so that you get a notification of our next video. So let's have a quick glance at the agenda. We'll start off by understanding what exactly is a web application, and then we'll have a quick introduction to the Django framework. After that, we'll build our first Django project and our first Django app. And finally, there'll be a quiz to recap what we've learned in today's session. So write down your answers in the chat box to know if you've answered correctly. And also you can put down all of your queries in the comment section. We'd love to help you out. Now, if you are also interested in doing an end-to-end certification in Django, then IntelliPath provides the Python Django training course, which will help you to master all of the concepts comprehensively. Right, so without much delay, let's start off with the class. Alright, so let's start off by understanding what exactly is a web application. So simply put, a web application is a software that can be accessed from a browser. Now, what is a browser? Well, a browser is an application with which you can browse websites. So we've got different browsers such as Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome and Internet Explorer. And with the help of these browsers, we can access a web application. Now, for communication to take place between any two entities, there has to be a proper set of rules between them for them to communicate. So let's say there are two people who want to communicate with each other. Now, for them to understand each other, they'd have to speak or they'd have to know the same language, and they'd have to speak the language with proper grammar, and only then they'd be able to understand each other. And same is the case when it comes to a web browser and web application. So both of them should know the same language, and both of them should follow the same rules when speaking that language. So these rules between the browser and the web application are known as protocols. So there are different protocols such as HTTP protocol and the FTP protocol, which help the web browser and the web application to communicate with each other. Now, a web application or a web server can host different web resources such as a PDF resource, a HTML resource and a JSON resource. Now, a browser, if it wants access to these web resources, then it would send a request to this web application. Then this web application would access that particular resource and in response would give that resource to this browser with the help of these protocols. So let me reiterate this. This browser, by following those protocols, so it could either be HTTP protocol or the FTP protocol, it sends a request to this web application and it basically tells the web application that, so I'd want this PDF resource. So in response, the web application accesses this PDF resource and it gives to the web browser. So this is how a web browser is able to communicate with the web application. So now that we've understood what exactly is a web application, let's understand what is a web framework. Now, when it comes to most of the web applications, most of their core features remain the same. That is, most of these web applications require some sort of authentication. So they need some sort of security, and most of them require database connectivity and so on. So there are some core features which are common to all of these websites. Now, let's say you are building a website from scratch and you would have to build everything from start. So that would be a very tiresome and a very cumbersome task. You'd have to start off by giving in all of the security features by yourself, all of the database connectivity features by yourself. And that is a Herculean task. So this is where a web framework comes in. So you can consider a web framework to be a collection of different APIs and classes which would help you to build a website very easily. So a web framework consists of different features such as it'll make your life very easier. So it provides you automatic features for working with the database, it'll provide you templates and it'll also provide you security features. So let's talk about the first one, which is database. So with the help of a web framework, you don't have to establish the connection with the database all by yourself. So the web framework takes care of the database connectivity by itself, and it's a very easy task. Now the web framework also gives you a lot of templates. So what exactly is a template? Well, when a web browser sends a request to the web application, the web application has to return something. Now, when it returns, it has to have a proper template. So this is where different templates come in. So this is where you can actually choose how your response looks like, how your result looks like. And then obviously your web framework would provide proper security features. Hey guys, just a quick info. So if you are interested in doing an end-to-end certification course in Django, then Intellipaat provides the Python Django certification course. So you can check out the course details in the link mentioned below. So let's continue with the class. So when you're building a website, there is a very good chance that hackers out there might add in malicious links into your website. So this is where a web framework provides you proper security features so that it is not breached by any unwanted malwares or any unwanted attacks. Right. So there are a lot of web frameworks out there, such as you've got Django, you've got Flask, you've got Pyramid, and you've got Web2Py. And in this course, we're going to learn comprehensively about the Django framework. Right. So let's understand some of the features of the Django framework. So Django is one of the most popular open source web frameworks built for Python. So with the help of Django, you can build web applications in a fast and simple way. So it wouldn't really take you much time to get started with Django, right? So let's say if you're building website from scratch and if it takes you around 10 days to build a website, on the other hand, if you choose Django and you try to build your website, then it would take maybe 1 or 2 days to complete building your website. So Django is extremely fast to build your web applications. And the next feature of Django is it is secure of clickjacking and SQL injection. So what exactly is clickjacking? Well, as I've already told you, when you're building a website, there are a lot of cases where hackers might try to add some sort of malicious links in your website. So this is where Django provides foolproof methods to secure for clickjacking, right? So there would be absolutely no chance for a hacker to add malicious links into your web application. And also Django provides security for SQL injection. So what is SQL injection? Now you guys also know that database is the most important feature when it comes to backend websites. So there might be cases where a hacker might want to get into the database which is connected with the website. So if he gets into the database, then he'd have the entire access of all of the users and their entire information. So this is where Django provides security so that no hacker is able to penetrate your database. Now Django also provides scalability. So what do I mean by this? So let's say if you start off by 10 users when you're building the website, but then again your web application becomes a hit and your number of users keep on growing. So from 10 users, let's say your number of users go on to around 1000 users. Now to have this capacity of 1000 users, your website or web application has to scale up, and Django helps you with that. And finally, obviously Django helps in database integration. So with the help of Django, you can connect with either MySQL or SQL Server. So it becomes extremely easy for your web application to be connected with the database. Right. Now let's look some of the famous companies which use Django framework. So we've got Instagram, Dropbox, Pinterest, and Spotify. So all of these major companies out there are using Django to maintain their websites. Right. Now let's go ahead and actually install Django into our system. So the prerequisite while installing Django needs to be that we actually have Python installed in our system. So to see if Python is installed in our system, we need to go to command prompt and we need to type in this command. So Python space hyphen version. So we'll go ahead and we have to type in this command, and if this gives in a Python version, then it would mean that Python is installed in our system, else it is not. Now after that, we'd have to go ahead and install Django into our systems with this command, which is pip install Django. Right. Now let me actually go to command prompt. So I'll just type in cmd over here and let me check my Python version. So I'll type in Python space hyphen version. Right. So I see that Python is installed and the Python version is Python 3.7.4. Now to install Django into my system, all I have to do is type in pip install Django. Now since I already have Django installed in my system, I'll not go ahead and click on enter. Right. Now that we have installed Django into our systems, let's go ahead and create our first Django project. So to create a new Django project, we'd have to use this command over here, Django admin start project, and then we'd have to give in the name of the project. So over here, the name of the project is website. So when we go ahead and run this command, this will create a new folder from where we started the command prompt. Now, if we go into this folder website, this would comprise of another folder with the same name as the root directory. So the name of the root directory was website, and inside this there'll be another folder with the name website. And this folder comprises of all of these files. So it'll have an init file, a settings.py file, a urls.py file, and wsgi file. Right. Now let's actually go ahead and create a Django project. So let me type in the command. So the command was Django-admin. After this, I'd have to type in start project, and then I'd have to give in the name of the project. So the name of the project is website. So I'll click on enter. Now let me go to desktop and see if this has been created. Right. So over here we see that there is this new folder with the name website. I'll go inside this, and as we saw in the PPT over here, we have this folder website, and the name of this folder is the same as the root folder, and there is another .py file with the name manage. And I'll go inside this. Now this has all of these files over here. So there is init.py, settings.py, urls.py, and wsgi.py. Now let's actually understand all of these files in PyCharm over here. So starting with init.py, so this file basically makes sure that our folder is treated as a package, right? So this init.py, this over here makes sure that this website folder is actually treated as a package and not just as any other folder. Then we've got the settings.py file. So the settings.py file comprises of different settings. So we've got the security, so we've got the secret key over here to launch our app. And then we've got different settings. So these are the settings for the installed apps over here. So these are the different installed apps. And then we've got the middleware for the security purpose. After that, we've got the list of templates over here. So these are the different settings in the settings.py file. And then we have this urls.py file. Now, every website or every web application has different URLs. So when you open a website and you scroll through different tabs of it, what you're basically doing is you're scrolling through different web apps, or you're scrolling through different URLs over here. And this, what you see are the list of the URLs which are present in that website. So let me actually give an example of this. So over here, I am at this site intellipaat.com blog, and this is the URL. Now what I'll do is I'll open this first link. Right, so over here, this is the next URL over here. What is natural language processing? Now similarly, let me open this tab over here. So over here, the URL which you see is ETL tutorial for beginners. Now these are just URLs which are given inside this list over here, right? So this is why the urls.py file is used to give in the list of all of the URLs of your resources. And then we have the wsgi.py file. So this basically stands for Web Server Gateway Interface, and it is used to establish a connection between the web application and the web server. So for that communication to take place properly, wsgi.py file is used. And then we finally have the manage.py file. So this is actually used to run the server and add different users to the web application. So now that we've looked at the core files of our project, let's understand about URL mapping and views. So let's say if there is a match of that resource in the urls.py file, then the urls.py file would call a view. Now this view is nothing but functions or classes which take a web request and return a web response. Now let's again understand URL map. So we've got a user who requests for a resource from this browser over here. Now that resource could be anything. So it could be a tutorials page, it could be a blog page, or it could be any other page. So this request is sent to this urls.py file. So the URL over here is tutorials.urls. So if it is found in this urls.py file, then it will invoke a function from this view, and this view would respond with that particular resource to this browser. So this is what basically happens when a browser sends a request to the web application. Right, so now we'll go ahead and create our first Django app. Right, so we'd have to open our command prompt and go to the same directory where we created the project, and we'd have to enter that directory. And now after that, we'll type in dir just to make sure that we have the project name in the manage.py file. And then we'll use this command over here. So the command is python manage.py run server, and this will boot up our web server. Right, and this is what we get. So we'd have to use this link over here, go to this link, paste it in our browser location, and we'd have successfully launched our project. Alright, so let me actually do this. So let me go inside the project. So I'll type in cd website. Now let me type in dir over here. So I see the name of the directory, which is website, and I also have the manage.py file. Now I'd have to launch the server. So to launch the server, I'd have to type in Python, and then I'd have to give in manage.py .py. After that, I just have to type in run server. Hey guys, just a quick info. So if you are interested in doing an end-to-end certification course in Django, then Intellipaat provides the Python Django certification course. So you can check out the course details in the link mentioned below. So let's continue with the class. So this is where the project would be open. I'll copy this over here and I'll paste this. I'll click enter. Right, so we have successfully launched our project. So we see that the install worked successfully. Congratulations. Now let's say I want to add a new web application to my website over here. So what I'll do is I will go inside this project over here. So I'll just open command prompt and I'll exit this. So to exit, I'd have to press Ctrl C. Now I'll open another command prompt. So from over here inside this project, I will type in cmd and I'd have to create a new web application. So to create a new web app, this would be the syntax. So I'll type in python manage.py. After that, I'll type start app and given the name of the app. So let's say the name of the app is tutorial. Right, so I've successfully created this new folder inside my parent directory. Right, so initially we did not have this tutorial folder over here. After running this command python manage.py start app tutorial, we have created a new folder with the name tutorial. Now let me also open PyCharm. So you see that we have this new folder over here which comprises of all of these files. Now if you look closely, one file is missing from this tutorials folder, which is the URLs folder. So I'll go ahead and have a copy of this. So let me go to the parent folder over here. Right, so let me open website. I'll copy this URLs folder and go inside the tutorial folder and paste it over here. Now I have the urls.py file inside my tutorial folder as well. Right, so now I'd have to create a new web application where I actually want the web page to just show this text. This is Sparta. So let me see how that can happen. So let me start off by going into this urls.py file. So this is what we have over here. Now this is the initial URL. Now instead of this, what I want is I want this to print something. So I'll type in path over here, and since this would be returning from the home page, I'll just put in single quotes over here. So if I put in single quotes as the first argument, this means that I'm returning something from the home page. And then I'd have to add a view. As we saw in the previous slides, for the web application to return something, it needs a view. So I'll type in views dot and then I'll give in the name of the function, which would be home. So I'll type in name equals home. Now after this, we also have to import views. So I'll type in from all import views. Right, so all of the errors have been removed over here. Now I'll remove this one over here. So this, what you see, is just a list of all of the URLs which are present in this web application. Right, now after this, we have added this view over here, but we don't actually have this view inside this view.py file. So let me go ahead and add the function. So I'll type in def and then I will name the function as home. Because in this urls.py file, I have given the name of this view as home. Alright, so let me go to this view. Now since we know that a view actually takes a request from a web browser, right? So web browser sends a request to this view and this view in response returns something. So I'll just type in request over here. And inside this, I'll give in the body. So this has to return something. But since the request is in the form of HTTP, the return or the response also needs to be in the form of a HTTP protocol. So I'll use the function HTTP response over here. And inside this, what I want the home page to return is this text. So this is Sparta. And this is what the home page will show when I open it. Right. Now again we have this error over here because we actually have to import this. So I'll type in from django.http import http response. Right, so this is also done. Now the last thing which we have to do is we have made the changes in the urls.py file of our web application. but we also have to add this link in our main project over here, right? So I'll go into the urls.py file of my main project, and inside this I'll again add a path, and over here I'll put in single quotes over here. So this would mean that this is the main page, and to this main page I have to include the tutorials page. So include tutorial.urls. So I'll put in a comma over here, and I'd also have to import the include method. So I'll include this. Right, so we have everything set up. Now what I'll do is I'll open command prompt again, run the project and see what happens. So I am inside my project over here. So I'll type in python manage.py run server. Alright, now let me copy this over here and let me paste it again. So we have successfully created this web application where our home page shows this text. This is Sparta. Now just for practice, let me actually create another project and another app over here. So this time I'll name this project as Sparta. So we all know the command. So that would be Django-admin start project. After this, I'd have to give in the name of the project, which would be Sparta. So let me go to desktop. Right, so we have successfully created this new folder with the name Sparta. I'll go inside this, and this is what we have over here. So we have this manage.py file, and we also have this Sparta folder, and it comprises of these 4 files, which we know what exactly are. Alright, now I'd have to go ahead and create a new web app inside this. So I am over here. Now let me go ahead and type in cd Sparta. Now let me type in dir. So we see that we have this manage.py file, and we also have this Sparta folder. Now inside this I'd have to create a new web app. So I'll type in python, and then I'd have to give in the manage.py file. After this I'll type start app and give in the name of the app. So the name of the app is, let's say 30. So I'll just hit enter. Now I've created this new folder 30, which comprises of all of these files. Now again, this does not have the urls.py file, so I'll open the Sparta folder. I'll copy this and I will paste it inside this 30 folder over here. Now let me go ahead and open this with PyCharm. So we have this folder over here. So this is our main folder, and this is the web app over here, and this is the urls.py file of the main project, and this is the urls.py file of our web application. Now I'd have to add a URL over here. So I'll type in path, and since this is being redirected from the home page, I'll just put in single quotes over here, and then I'll have to type in the view, which would return something. So view dot, and this time I'll just name it to be Sparta again. And after this, so this actually has to be views and not view, and then the name as well, I'll give this as Sparta. Right, so over here I'd have to import the views method. So from all import, I'd have to type in views. Right, so we have made the changes to the urls.py file of this web app. Now I'll go to the views.py file and let me create the method over here. So def, and then I'd have to give in the name of the view, which would be, let me just confirm over here. So the name of the view is Sparta. So def of Sparta, and this takes in a request over here. So I'll type in request, and this would return something, and the return would be in the form of HTTP response. So I'll type in HTTP response, and the response would be we are 300. Now let me go ahead and import this from Django.http import HTTP response. Right, so we have also made the changes in the views.py file, and we'd have to make the final change, which is in the urls.py file. So over here I'd have to import the include method, and also add in a new path over here. Right, so now I'd have to include the final path over here. So let me put in tab over here, lb path. I'll put in single quotes over here, and after this I'd have to use the include method, and I'd have to include 30.urls. I'll just put in a comma over here. Right, so we have successfully created this web app. Now let me go ahead and run the manage.py file. So it'll be python manage.py, and I'll type in run server. Let me copy this link again and paste it over here. Right, so we have successfully created this web app where it states we are 300. Hey guys, just a quick info. So if you are interested in doing an end-to-end certification course in Django, then Intellipaat provides the Python Django certification course. So you can check out the course details in the link mentioned below. So let's continue with the class. Right guys, so this brings us to the end of the session. So I hope that this session was informative. And if you have any doubts or queries, you can ask us in the comment section and we'd love to help you out.